The trial within a trial continues in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. The admissibility of confessions allegedly made by accused 1 and 2 are being assessed. Sergeant Vusimuzi Mogane remains under cross-examination. He was part of the team that arrested accused number 1 and 2. Let's take you live now to court where we find Manqoba Mchunu. He's been following those court proceedings. Questions still posed to Sergeant Mogane, Manqoba, and Advocate Mngomezulu only finishing his cross-examination a short while ago. What came out of today's session?
Well, indeed, Masiko, and the bone of contention here in this trial within a trial, and especially when it comes to Sergeant Vusimuzi Mogane, is around the arrest of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, and how he then came to make that first confession before Colonel Rapadu at the Morocco police station. And there's a question that was posed to Vusi Mogane as to why accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, had been booked out for almost 17 hours, just a day before that confession was made. And of course, they asked Sergeant Vusimuzi Mogane to clarify exactly what was happening at the time. You recall yesterday that we heard evidence that this is when the police had gone to the mine where Bongani Ntanzi had been working, just to check out his alibi as to whether or not he was at work on that particular day. But the defense is saying that this could have probably lasted about 3 to 4 hours, not more than that. So the question is, what happened in those other hours when the accused had not been booked in at the police station? And of course, they're alluding to the fact that this is when accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, was likely to have been assaulted and tortured into making that confession. Take a listen to what came out.
Why was he not taken back again after you've verified such information? Why was he not immediately taken back to Pretoria in the North Police Station? Instead, you had to book him in 2:30 early hours in the morning.
No, he did not have a problem going with us, because when we asked him if he was okay with going with us, he agreed, because also there was the problem that if he was taken back to the cell, he was going to be locked up alone and was going to get bored.
So what is Bongani Ntanzi's version of events, Manqoba?
Well, Bongani Ntanzi insists that he was assaulted and tortured. He says he was assaulted on several occasions. The first time this happened just prior to making that first confession. He also says that he was assaulted at a place in a secluded area in Soweto. And this is where he says he was assaulted, he was tubed and even electrocuted by police into making that particular confession. And he says, in a nutshell, that that particular statement or confession was not made freely and voluntarily, and that the accused had been coerced into making them. Take a listen.
Immediately after you departed with Colonel Gininda, after you conducted your investigations.
Who assaulted him, as he says?
I'll get into that. Because it is your evidence. I'll get into that, Mr. Mkhaya. It is your evidence that you had to do your own other investigations. As a result, you even had to go to Albertine. I'm not referring to the evidence where you said when you booked him out with the purpose of transferring him to Force Lawyers Court. I'm not referring about that. I'm referring to the event where, after you concluded your own investigation regarding his whereabouts, Colonel Gininda and Sergeant Mogane left and you drove with accused number 2. You indicated during cross-examination that you had to do other investigations. As a result, you had to go to Albertine or Force Lawyers. These people that are escorting you are from Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police. Is that so?
That is correct.
All right, so Advocate Tulani Mngomezulu for accused 1 and 2 has concluded his cross-examination. What can we expect at 2 o'clock?
We're expecting the lawyer representing accused number 5, Advocate Zandile Mshololo, to resume with the cross-examination of Sergeant Vusimuzi Mogane, rather Moseko. He has indicated that he'll want to consult with the lawyer for accused number 1 and 2 on her line of questioning, as well as the state counsel, that's Advocate George Baloyi. So we're expecting her to resume with that particular cross-examination when this matter does resume. But of course, there has been an indication from the other legal representatives of accused number 3 and 4 that they would not want to cross-examine Mogane currently because they understand that he will be called back to the stand. And this is because of some of those documents, more importantly, the dockets of these particular cases that Mogane Ntanzi had been facing that are still outstanding in court. So they'll want those to be brought to court before they resume with their cross-examination.
All right, Manqoba Mchunu live for us there in the High Court in Pretoria. Let's leave it there for now.